Debbie. How are you today?
Hey, Marla. I'm great. How about yourself?
I'm very well. Thank
You have a different headband this time. I like it.
You know, I'm really into headbands and sweaters.
Wow. Is that like a...
Just feeling it.
Is it a throwback to the 80s or something? Because I remember wearing headbands and like funky sweaters and stuff.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, I think it's an 80s thing.
Oh, cool.
What's
Cool.
old is new again.
Yeah.
Like me.
I think after a certain age, you like start counting backwards in birthdays, right?
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to start pretty soon.
What are you, like 39 now?
Okay. Yeah, well, I don't know. I think I'd have to be over 80 to count that far back, wouldn't I?
I don't
Okay,
know.
never mind. Let's not go into
That
that.
just confused me a lot.
Sorry.
You know? Yeah.
Well, that means you'd be a lot older too.
Yeah, I'm 29, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, gotcha. I'll remember that.
Yeah. Just reminds me of, have you seen Wonder Woman 1984?
No, but I can't wait because I love 1984, 1980s fashion with like the shoulder pads.
Mm-hmm.
Like the women were fierce. They had like, shoulders out to here, like bigger than the men. And then they had like the lit animal hair, that hair thing.
Mm-hmm. You know, maybe like, maybe that's what is influencing me right now because I saw that movie and I'm just like, this is great. Like, I loved Kirsten Wiig's fashion in that movie.
Oh, yeah?
I was just like, what?
Yeah.
Fur and boots. Cool. Okay. I'm down with
Fur
that.
and boots work.
Sure.
Yeah.
And spandex. Okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't wear spandex, but look
Okay,
good on
maybe
her.
not spandex. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
She looks
She's like
good.
super skinny, but
Fur and spandex. I'll have to remember that. And discos were still kind of cool.
Discos? Did you call them discotheques?
No, we didn't call them disco. We called them nightclubs.
Oh. You're funny.
Clubbing. That was a thing.
Clubbing.
Okay. Yes. All right.
Anywho, so Debbie, how did you know it was time to move out?
Oh, you mean out of the house? Like,
yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know, Marla. I had a different situation. My parents moved out. But that's another podcast for non-real estate related issues, for sure. Yeah. But how did you know when it was time to move out?
I knew it was time when I had scraped together enough down payment to buy a place.
Right. Then you
Yeah.
could have your independence and because you're left-handed, a lot of people don't know, and I'm right-handed, so a left-handed
it makes a big difference. Yeah, like I put all my things on the opposite side of where you would put them, and all my spatulas are angled differently. All my scissors are different,
Right.
and that makes me happy.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah. So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
how we both knew that it was time for you to get your
Time for me to move out.
left-handed kitchen.
You're just like, what is wrong with your spatula, Marla? I just can't deal with this anymore. Get out.
No, of course not.
No. Well, I like rented when I was in college, but I didn't like that experience, like just being a renter. So I think it was college, you move out, and then I moved back in, and then I moved back out. Yeah.
Right.
So we moved back a few times. But so I'm Marla.
And I'm Debbie Wong.
And this is Real Times in Real Estate with the Wong Real Estate Group. And today we're going to discuss how do you know when it's time to when you have outgrown your home. So
that's a really good topic. Yes. How do you know?
How do you know?
Well, I think certainly a telltale sign is that you're running out of space. I mean, obviously, if you in your household, you're 5 people living in a studio apartment or condo, certainly that's not enough space. I think, although as humans, we love, and you're an anthropology graduate, so you know that as humans, we do need human interaction and contact, but we also need alone time.
Oh my God,
yes. To contemplate our thoughts and to process things that happen to us in the day.
Well, I'm an introvert, so it's like, yeah, I need my alone time for sure.
Yeah. So that's where I think, when how people are living in their homes today is a lot different from even last year. People,
that's true. Yeah.
They need space to work from home, as we've noticed a large portion or percentage of the populace is now working from home, and they need a place to set up their desk. I just had a Zoom visit with a friend who actually is working from home, and her dining room table is her office now. So she's complete, with a printer, like, 2 screen computers and and
Yeah.
you know, a light, O-ring light for lighting, all that kind of stuff, because
For
she's
Zoom
only on
calls,
Zoom
yeah.
call.
Mhm.
And
Phones. Well, I guess your
well,
cell
she has
phone.
2 phones, yeah,
Mhm.
and then also a scanner, high-speed scanner,
Mhm.
to scan documents. So, you know, if somebody had told her you're going to be working from your dining room a year ago, she would have said you're crazy. So we have that going on. I mean, how people are living in their space is dramatically different from just, you know, 6 months ago, 8 months ago. And here in California, it looks like that's going to be the case at least maybe until May or June. Hopefully, we can get back to things a little bit normal. But on an earlier, I did these things that was kind of fun in the beginning of the pandemic. I did coffee chat. And so I had the pleasure of having Supervisor David Canaba on one of my coffee chats. And it was kind of fun because he sort of like had a suit and tie on.
But
And
you know, he was wearing board shorts and flip flops. Like, he just
Probably.
seems like one
He's
of those
such a cool
laid back
guy,
guys. Like,
right?
he's so cool. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go like walk on
But
the
you
beach
know, it's
after
obviously
this. Yeah.
his living room with the drapes drawn.
And he had the American flag, like
It
really
was
big.
cool,
I remember
right?
that. Yeah,
And then
yeah.
you could hear his kid going, "Daddy, what's for lunch?" So that was kind of funny. And he said, you know, I think what has taught not only the American people, but also the people that work in big companies or for the government, that it is possible to work from home. So maybe commercial space maybe is going to be seen a lot differently than in years past as well. So we've all been learning a lot of things, not only about ourselves, but how we work, how we live in a space,
How we get educated,
right? How we get educated, how that's going to look, how school's going to look in the future,
how we take care of our health.
how we take care of our health. I know that you've had like Zoom calls with a doctor because you didn't necessarily need to bring Max in for a checkup.
But you know, like to Kaiser's credit, they've had that for a while, actually.
Right,
Yeah.
where you could call your doctor.
Yeah, Zoom
But
call
now
for
you can have a
doctors.
video chat and say, "Look at this. This is
What is that?
what is that, doctor?"
Because I totally never did that before. I am not a hypochondriac in any
I
way.
hope they don't record those.
I
think
never
they
sent my
do.
doctor
I-
pictures of my rashes.
Yeah, or no, picture. I was thinking of the grandson's rashes. You know, if he got poison
Yeah.
ivy or something, we wanted to make sure he didn't have it.
You know, the first that reminds me.
That's kind of a scary thought, actually.
Well, yeah. Well, he's a baby still, so he doesn't come in contact with poison ivy.
Oh, thank God.
But he did get a heat rash this summer, and I was like, "What is this?" I was freaking out. I sent like different angles, like different lighting, like maybe the light would change colors. To my doctor. So,
well, I think another telltale sign that you've outgrown your space is if your living room has become a video setup. You don't have your own room for the video equipment because, you know, setting up equipment and then breaking down equipment is cumbersome.
like we are here now.
I know.
Yes, this is our studio.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Your place has the best lighting.
Our place is, well, so, you know, like my place is small, but yeah, it's like we have our own recording studio space. And then, you know, Mike is in the other room and he's doing his work there, you know, so we got it going on. Yeah.
Well, I think one really great thing is that, you know, we have well, it's not a great thing. We have a shortage of inventory, but
Yes.
if you do own your own home, you know, chances are you have some equity. So if you're thinking, oh my God, my place is too small, or I need more rooms, I would love to have a backyard or a place where I can set up the video equipment. I don't have to keep breaking it down and just leave it like
Tripping over
that.
cords.
All I need to do is sit there and press on.
Yeah.
You know, then there's an opportunity for that for sure. You know, I believe that there's definitely an opportunity for that. But
I have some stats for you. Actually,
oh, I love
Deborah.
stats.
Yeah,
Let's hear
we
some
love
stats,
stats
woman.
here.
Okay, get your stats on.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right.
Okay, so CoreLogic said that prices have increased 7.3% year over year. And NAR said that inventory has, or National Association of Realtors.
Yeah, you have to tell them, don't use realtor lingo.
NAR. Yeah, it's like lingo. Sorry. So inventory has decreased 22% year over year.
Yeah.
So that means that there's more competition for a smaller amount of houses, and that's kind of driving prices up or keeping prices steady. Or what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's definitely driving prices up. I mean, you know, when we correlate that to the area that we work in, which is the San Francisco Bay Area and primarily the mid-peninsula area, We have definitely seen multiple offers on single family dwellings. I mean, certainly, that's what everybody's looking for right now. The condo and the townhome markets are a little bit softer. And as we're seeing, property spending a lot more time in the market. And I think it takes a really savvy marketing person to really manipulate the stats and the numbers to ensure that perhaps instead of spending 6 months on the market, maybe you only spend 3 or 4. But it's definitely challenging, as we are seeing people that are saying, oh my God, there can't be 5 of us in this studio.
You're all driving me crazy.
Need more rooms.
I can't look at your face anymore.
Well, one really positive thing about the pandemic, I think, is it's brought a lot of families closer together and realize that they really need each other. But I think there's been a small percentage of people who have just decided, you're not the person I would like to spend all my time with.
It's
so
really
we're seeing some of that as well.
Yeah,
we are seeing
just
some
like
of
a certain
that.
orange person we know, very polarizing.
Oh, okay. Well, let's not go there. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
We promise not to be too political on this show. But yeah, because everybody's got their own opinions, including my husband. But that's okay. Your dad.
Oh my gosh.
Well, how did you know, other than the fact that you really wanted to have your own kitchen space, that you were ready to move out?
Well, I think I just wanted, just had a calling to have my own space. I wanted to decorate the way I wanted, and I wanted to, do the things that I wanted to do, like come home at the hour I wanted to come home in.
I think that's a big one.
You guys were never really strict, like very strict, overbearing parents, but it's like, we did have to be home at a certain time and be like quiet at a certain time, cognizant of like shared space stuff. So yeah.
Well, when you're in a small place, the walls are thin too. So
that's true. That's true.
I've heard that saying, the walls can be thin.
Yeah.
What else you have there on your statistics list?
That's all I've got. So,
well, I think
what's a good test, I suppose, to know that you've outgrown your space?
Oh, okay. I think a really good test would be one room serves as a multi-purpose room, but you didn't mean it for that purpose. So one room is the bedroom, the dining area, the home office, the podcast area, and the place where you try to do calisthenics.
Okay.
I think that would be a really good test, right? Another really good test would be, sleeping bags all over the floor. I think that probably would not be good. It's time to maybe get a place with a few more bedrooms. Yeah. I think that's a really good test.
Okay. Well, the converse of that, like, what is a good test to know that your space is too big?
Well, that's a really easy one, I think. When you find yourself only living in one portion of the home and then the rest of the home is going to heck. I've seen that in some cases where the other rooms just become like storage areas. Or I remember helping one homeowner who was downsizing, or like, when's a good time to know you need to downsize? And I said, well, have you visited this part of the house recently? No, not since 1999.
That was there.
I only live in this part of the house. That was really trippy, actually. It was a beautiful area, a very large place. I think it was 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, had a family room, a living room, and a formal dining area. And the gentleman just slept in a sleeping bag in the kitchen. That was it. That was the only part of the home that was
like used. He worked all the time, and it's like he didn't even have time to go buy furniture.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or decorate his bedroom.
He had it like that for like 30 years. Actually, he was a caretaker of a home, and it was time for the owners who lived out of the country to sell the property. Mm-hmm. And so that was really interesting. And I've seen that on more than one occasion where they're just utilizing one small portion of the home. So I think that's a good test to know when it's time to think about other living spaces. And you end up, instead of trying to manage a property that's too large or care for a property that becomes too expensive or overbearing to care for, that's when you know it's time to downsize.
Yeah. Those are 2 good tips.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you are thinking that you have outgrown your home, or you have an overbearing home, we'd love to hear about it. Or if you have any other topics you'd like for us to discuss, please message us. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and podcast. We would love to hear from you. And thank you so much for tuning in.
All right. Till we see each other again, stay safe.
Take care. Bye-bye.